Welcome back to the 5th episode of Kylian Mbappe to Glory, and in today's one it's a very interesting one because the gallery is completely changed in this series. We have sold almost every single player, we have reinvested. I will show you how well it's currently going, or is it actually going that well. First of all, we have made a lot of new signings, we have sold a lot of old players, so we can start off with the spreadsheet. And before we go into all the good stuff, if you are brand new to this game, remember to sign up using the affiliate link, and if you want to use mine, that is much appreciated. I have it first in the description and you will get 50 euros after buying 5 cards within 30 days. And as you can see, I have sold Jules Koundé, Rodrigo, Valverde, Bade, Aspas, Sivera, a lot of key players, and we are actually now in profit, you can call it. We still haven't sold Ter Stegen, which I've lost so much money on, and also Kylian Mbappe have gone a lot down in value. But in terms overall, we have now 137 euros available after purchasing more players, which is just unreal. We have so much money now available to spend. We have purchased new players since last episode: Koundé, Yuri, Eriksen, and also Kiku or Kiki. I'm sorry, that was 4.1, not 1.1. 4.1, there we go. And that is brilliant, so that we also need to change this to 1.34. Brilliant, guys. Okay, so first of all, we can go through the players we have sold and why we have sold them. First of all, it didn't stretch. Real Madrid haven't looked too good. Rodrigo, we got an incredible price for him. We sold him for 75 euros. And a little, not a fun fact, a sad fact you can call it actually, because if you go to Rodrigo here, he has gone down a lot in price, which is of course unfortunate for my fellow Rodrigo owners. But in terms of the sales price, it's a very good sale by us. He's now down all the way to 21 euros. And if we go back here, we have lost something on Valverde, we have earned a little bit on Jules Koundé, lost a little bit on Sivera, lost a little bit on Aspas, and also lost a little bit or a lot on Loic Bade. And also why this is week 4 is because this is week 4 I've actually played on the Mbappe Glory, and the week 4 on this series where I have actually uploaded. And that is one of the main reasons. There have been some international breaks. We have sold a lot of players, we have revamped the gallery, and therefore the Kylian Mbappe series have been a little bit on hold. And also because Kylian Mbappe have been injured for a little while now. Also some allegations of something in Sweden, you probably know it, and if you don't, you probably will know about it sooner rather than later if they go through with the case. And therefore I've also been a little bit quiet with this series because I don't want to upload it. And at the moment it has been very quiet recently actually. A lot say it's fake news and the source it's coming from isn't that legit, so I'm not sure anymore, but we will still make this series. And keep in mind, I'm not of course backing Kylian Mbappe by any means. This is a game, just so you know that. And also yeah, we have 134 euros available, and we also have bought some new players, and I will show you them in a second. Or you know what, I can actually show them now. It's Kiku Femenia, it's Christian Eriksen, it's Yuri Bergische, it's also Diego Koundé. And if we scroll further down, we still have Marc-André Ter Stegen, we also have Leon, and of course we also have Kylian Mbappe. And so far this series he has played 8 game weeks for us. He had 2 assists for us, and he has also won us 4 rewards, which isn't the greatest to say the least, although I don't think that assist number is completely true. I think he has done more for us, but in terms of his games after he has come back from injury, hasn't been great either. And let's go through the rewards since I saw you last time on this series. This was when we saw a lot of players, made some reinvestments, so this was the team we lined up. Very unlucky not to get a box here actually. Overall not great either. And if we go back here to the midweek, I can show you here on Sorare because it can't be shown any other place, because we played Kylian Mbappe in the special weekly. If we scroll all the way down here, we can see the new special weekly Sorare have currently had, which you only need 1 limited player, and Kylian Mbappe were there getting an assist. Unfortunately I got the Pep rotation wrong, and also the why can't I Ange rotation wrong as well? Okay, so that was unfortunate, and now we can move on to this game week, and you probably know where this is heading. It's the El Clasico, and Barcelona won 4-0. So yeah, nothing here. Christian Eriksen starts, surprisingly, or not surprisingly, but I thought Manchester United may have played with a double pivot, but I still think Christian Eriksen is one of the best players in the team, so therefore I thought he may come on and get something, but very happy to see him starting once again. This is a very, very good purchase so far. Kylian Mbappe letting the team down, and the rest of the guys doing actually very, very well. So that is very, very unfortunate that the main man Kylian Mbappe letting the team down. Being in offside 7 times doesn't help me out either in terms of that. So probably no rewards. You never know, we may get the reward box if we are lucky. Or if Christian Eriksen have a good game, we may actually get it. And also now we had, as you probably know, 2 different teams. One prioritized team where we had so many good players, but now we have changed a little bit. Now we have gone for one decent team besides Kylian Mbappe. My goal is of course to spend the money we have available now and try to make one strong team and another like mediocre team. But the only big downside with that now is of course the essence change, and I've talked a lot about that essence change on this channel, and I'm trying to find it here we go. We can scroll all the way up here, and this is in season, because normally if we go back in memory line here to, I think it was around this game week 16, or this was international break, I'm sorry, game week 14 was it probably. Let me give you, I think this was not the midweek, I'm sorry, it may have been game week 15 where we had a pretty decent game week here in champ. If we go down here in champ in season, that was a mistake, I'm sorry guys, I should have actually prepared this earlier, but yeah, there we go, champ in season. So we had this team right here, and then we had of course in many of the occasions our own Kylian Mbappe team besides that. But the main reasons why we didn't have it was because of the Kylian Mbappe injury. Therefore we had this backup team. Sivera is gone, Loic Bade is gone, and Iago Aspas is currently sold as well, so he's also gone. But even before that, so it's actually a long time since we have uploaded on this channel and actually had this strategy. But since this was actually the main strategy behind it, and I actually don't think we have updated this amount into the Excel spreadsheet, so I need to just check that after this video, but it doesn't matter too much. It was €9 at the end of the day, but we also got some essence away from this, and this was it was the 5-1 victory from Barcelona and also the 4-1 victory for Real Madrid, and this was the main plan, have a defensive stack of Barcelona, then Marc-André ter Stegen got an injury, then everything fell apart after that, so just to simplify it. And therefore I sold the rest of the guys, because when we don't have a goalkeeper it's not too much point in having such a big and expensive side when we can't win something because we don't have a goalkeeper. Of course we had Sivera, but when we look back at it, it was a pretty good sale because his last games have been like utterly shocking, terrible. So therefore actually a pretty good sale, but therefore our main strategy, having one bad team and also one really good team in the highest division, worked out, but it didn't work out too well, because now at least they have changed it completely in terms of the boxes. So around in Division 4 you could either get the star 2 box or a star 3 box, and if we see the percentages now, this was really good. Getting this probability here for a 2-star box was fantastic, and also before having actually a 20 essence chance here was just incredible, and also a high chance of getting 10 essence. But now it has just been nerfed from another planet. A 65% chance of getting 2 essence and also a 65% chance of getting 3 essence. Is it then worth it? In my opinion, probably not. So therefore we have gone away from it completely, and in recent time I want now to go for quality and probably sell the quantity, because if we go back to the current game week, we can see that yeah, of course, we have Florian Lejeune, which had an incredible game, but if we go over on him and if we check his normal SO5 scores, he has had mediocre game after mediocre games so far this season, and now he has had one pop-off game, which is of course, we love to see that, hopefully he can keep that up, but I don't want to rely on a player like Lejeune, the same with Kiko, Femenia, Christian Eriksen, and also Diego Kunde, although I think actually Diego Kunde and Femenia will have some good upcoming fixtures. So they may be players we keep in the gallery. As you can see here, some very, very good upcoming fixtures. But definitely something we need to have in the back of our head when we move forward, because Kylian Mbappe haven't been great recently, but we need to keep this series up, we need to keep it going, and therefore, if we go back to the spreadsheet, we have 134 euros available, we have 120s, 28 essence, 26 cash, 26 euros in cash, or I think it's maybe 26 plus 9, which is 35. I'm not 100% sure of that. We need to check that after the video, I'm sorry. And also I have one card in terms of essence, which is Urko, which was a terrible card. So far it's not going great. In terms of some of the players here, it hasn't gone as bad, but 134 euros, it's a lot of money, and I have some players in the back of my head which I want to invest in. But first of all, before we can go into all that good stuff, I want to ask you a question. Should we now focus in La Liga, grind our way from the bottom to the top, or should we play in Champion? Because I'm not sure right now. I think it's a lot of uncertainty when it comes to Kylian Mbappe's future. Of course, the ongoing case. I'm not sure if it's a case anymore. Like the thing I talked about at the start of the video with the Swedish girl saying she was raped, and then Kylian Mbappe is... they are trying to investigate who did it, and some Swedish outlets said it was Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe said it wasn't him. I don't know more than that, to be 100% honest, but the future is a little bit uncertain. So therefore, I didn't purchase the expensive side around Kylian Mbappe. I purchased the cheap side so we could actually be able to play with him in the meantime. But I personally don't think anything more will happen in that case. So therefore I'm now starting to planning, should we then build a full La Liga team around Kylian Mbappe? Because that is a big, like, if I do that, it's a big adjustment, and there is, if it doesn't go right, it will of course be a huge loss, because in Champion I can play them with other Champion players if it doesn't work out. But in La Liga, of course, there is a low scoring league, so I don't love to play La Liga players in the Champion region, if that makes sense, because then I will be up against League 1 players, Bundesliga players, Premier League players, that is generally a higher scoring league, and also Serie A, of course. So therefore, should we keep on going in La Liga, or keep on going in Champion, which we are high? We are currently in Division 2. In La Liga we are in Division 4, I'm pretty sure. So then we need to grind our way up. So that may also be a fun thing to do. But then we need to scout at good La Liga players. And in the top of my head, we have of course some really, really good players, and for 134 euros we have a lot to do. Real Madrid and Barcelona are probably the main two teams we want to get the players from. In terms of Real Madrid, they haven't been too good recently, but Frenkie de Jong is a player that has stood out to me. Just come back from injury. He has looked pretty good. He has very, very slowly been implemented back to the side. Is he a player now, if we go to limited, that we could get for a pretty fair price, around 15 euros for a player that last season had some incredible scores in him? A player that at least have been on my watch list. Pedri is of course another player that I think looks very, very good. We could also go for old-fashioned Balde or Kunde, as we had actually earlier. He has also been a very, very good scorer recently. Jules Kunde is another player that we sold in this series. We could go back here and purchase him for a lower price and be a little bit smart there. Recently he hasn't scored as well as he did at the start of the season. We also have another player like Balde, which has been pretty good recently. We also have Robert Lewandowski. There is a lot of different players. We have a lot of budget, so therefore 10 euros for these type of scores, you can't go too much wrong with that. Especially against Real Madrid, he was unreal, but he has those low scores in him as well, which we don't like to see. And also Alejandro Balde, we have of course Lewandowski, and now I'm just naming players that I like, that are of course being very, very good so far this season. That is of course very, very expensive, a lot of these guys, but these are guys we want to stretch towards, because when we go back to the spreadsheet, we have 140 euros, and currently we have a goalkeeper, we have a defender. I want to just strengthen everything. I want to have one really, really, really good side, and then we can have one bad team that we are just playing in the lower divisions, trying to yield some essence here and there, maybe some credits, not taking it too serious with that team. But I want to have one really, really strong team. We can't afford to have the premium of the premiums. We can't have Lamine Yamal, those type of players, because we only have 134 euros. So we can have those tier 2s, tier 1s, and maybe some tier 3s in there, if you can find some hidden gems. So make sure to leave that in the comments comments, because this series is just getting started now, I feel like. And of course, I know it's not week 4, but this series has been on a little pause in my opinion. It hasn't happened too much because, as I said earlier, of those different reasons. But I'm ready for the future, and leave in the comments, as I said, which type of players should we invest in this series, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye and take care. Peace.